Hello there, friends, and welcome back to Sesh Cast. My name is GLDLX. This is Sesh Cast, a cannabis podcast for cannabis sessions. And today, vacation is all I've ever wanted. Vacation, have to get away. That's a Go-Go's reference. You're welcome. And yeah, this is Sesh Cast. This is just this podcast where I get high and I talk about stuff. I enjoy it very much, and I hope that you do as well. My name is GLDLX because I already said that once, so let me say it again. And today I am smoking some more Jack Herrera because I am recording this actually 5 minutes after I finished recording last week's episode. That's right, friends. It is back to back, and this is bowl number 3. I'm real high, and I got to do another episode today, which there will be much more backstory coming about later. So same weed, same pipe. This is Glass Mechanic spoon. Pictures already on my Instagram. It's like 4 or 5 episodes back, because I'm just reusing a piece because it's what's convenient. And I'm sure that I'll post a pretty beach picture with weed this week because that's where I'm at. I'm at the beach right now. Not like right now when I'm recording this, but right now when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it when it comes out. And if you're not listening to it when it comes out, I'm probably not at the beach, which is lame, but that's okay. Because right now, in some parallel universe, I'm at the beach, and it's real great, and I like it a lot. So, yeah, I am on vacation currently. Not currently, but currently, you know what I mean. So I'm pre-recording this episode, and I'm really going back to back right now, because I just have a lot of other stuff to do. And this is the first back-to-back episode that I've done since the glass blunt extravaganza from a couple months ago. I don't remember. That was lighters, racism, and whatever the first episode I did was. Oh gosh, I don't remember. But that was a 3-part series. You can go check that out if you want. I've recorded 3 episodes back to back, facing a gigantic glass blunt, and it didn't go so well. So today I'm on bowl number 3 of Jack Herrera. Great strain, like it a lot. I'm very talkative, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, and that's about that. I already covered. It's weird. I feel like I'm just talking about the same thing I literally just talked about. Because I am, and it's kind of a struggle. It's been a while since I've done a back-to-back episode, and I'm struggling to get it going, if you can't tell, so I'm just rambling. I think now I'm going to smoke weed. Cheers. Alright, a hit has been taken, weed has been smoked. We are underway. Maybe now I can pull this together a little bit. So, today I wanted to talk about vacation because in some timeline I'm on vacation. And I have not taken vacation in a very long time. But this summer, I'm taking more vacations for myself than I've ever taken before. And it's interesting. And I wanted to talk about how important I think that is. Because it is, it's changing my life right now. I need this vacation in the worst way. I have felt so overworked lately and just so out of touch with myself and out of touch with self-care and out of touch with my interests because I have just been so swamped with work. And not only time-wise swamped with work, but just mentally and emotionally and physically exhausted by work lately. And so I'm about to take basically a full 8 days off to just be for a while. And it might turn into 9 days, depending. I mean, it depends what my work schedule is like when I get home. But yeah, I just have time to be out of state and away from work and keep all of my work stuff at home, and I'm just so desperately looking forward to it. Because I haven't had this in a very long time. Well, it's been about a year. Because now I'm a yearly vacation person, and I've never even been that. I'm just lucky enough to be in a relationship with someone who has invited me along on their family vacations, and so now I'm a yearly vacation person, which is very interesting because that's never been me. My family was like a once every 5 to 7 years vacation family, and when we did go on vacation, it was like 4 or 5 day trips to go visit family out of state. And I did not have family that lived in particularly interesting or fun areas, with the exception of Washington D.C., which is kind of cool if you're a history nerd like I am. But yeah, so I've never been a big vacation goer, and as I am getting a little bit older, I'm starting to go on vacations more, partially because I'm realizing how beneficial they are, and how nice it is to actually get away for a little while. Now, if you're asking yourself, how in the world can you afford to go on all of these vacations and such? I can't. I really can't. But we're making it work this year. Like, I'm just kind of taking a year, a summer to actually treat yourself. Because, man, I freaking need it. And I hope that everybody can get to a point in life where they are able to just take some time off, because that's what I need to do. So I'm going on a couple vacations this year. I'm going on this vacation, and I'm also going to Seattle in August. I will be out for Seattle Hemp Fest, which I'm so lit for. Holy smokes. I'm so excited for Hemp Fest. I'm really hoping to get some collaborations out there. I don't necessarily know how much of that is going to happen, but I'm going to try really hard to at least hook up with Steve from Baked and Awake, one of my other favorite podcasts and one of my podcast builders league buddies. He has this great podcast that's all cannabis and conspiracy theories. If you're into that sort of thing, I definitely recommend checking it out. He's been talking a lot lately about like internet security in the world, and like he did this whole thing on terms of service, which I thought was very, very interesting, and I enjoyed a lot. So yeah, I'm really hoping that Steve and I can hook up and do hopefully a couple of episodes. So Steve, if you're listening, buddy, like I'm really looking forward to that come mid-August. So I'll be out at Hempfest in August, and then this week I'm just going to the beach, and I am not even a big beach lover. It's just not really my scene. I'm into winter and snow and not hot. And like the ocean's a little scary. Like I'm not. I have no phobia of the ocean. I'm not terrified. I've been out on cruises. I'm terrified of open water. Like being in open water scares the bejeebus out of me. But being close to the shore is not something that I can't handle, but is not something that I like love doing all the time. But I can do it for about a week of the year and stay nice and close to shore and skimboard a little bit, and that's fun. I dig that. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and then just like being in a different place and experiencing a different culture. Not that it's like I'm not going to Mexico or anything. Going to South Carolina, but that's states away from where I am right now, which is cool. And it's just a fun, different place. It's like speed of life is different. The people are different. The activities are different. Just the things that you can do. And so I'm very excited to go and do other things and visit. Like one of my favorite climbing gyms is down there. I'm looking forward to going and climbing out there for a while, and looking forward to checking out some restaurants that I really, really enjoyed the last time I was at the beach, because I've only been one other time to this particular beach. And it's the beach that their family goes to every year, but I just started going last year. There's the answer to that question. But I'm really looking forward to just experiencing life in a different way for a week, because I've been kind of tired of the life that I'm living here. And I think that's really the key importance of vacation is like you get burnt out on the life that you live. And that's not a great situation to be in, because it makes living life much less enjoyable. But if you can get out and just experience life somewhere else, I think that it's very, very beneficial. And I don't want to talk down on the benefits of a staycation, because I vibe hard with a good staycation. It's pretty much what I do anytime I have a day off, is I lay in my basement and I play video games, and it's the best. But like the experience of just living life somewhere else, even if it's a couple hours away, an hour away, just a city that you don't usually spend time in, if it's for a week, if it's for a weekend, anytime you can just go and experience a different life for a little while, I think it can really refresh you on the life that you're currently living, which is great because, man, it is so easy to get burnt out on the life that you live. And that's really the situation that I'm in, that I have found myself feeling like I'm doing the same things. I'm eating at the same places. I'm seeing the same people. I don't necessarily need a change, but I need a break. And I am very much looking forward to having a week to not be here and to not work and to not wake up in the same bed and see the same things and do the same things. Like, just to be somewhere else is such an exciting prospect. Holy smokes, I'm so excited about it. If you can't tell, doing a whole episode about it and just rambling about it. But I'm looking forward to it. So I don't know 100% like where this episode is going to go. My concept is vacation, and I don't really know what I'm going to talk about because that was all of the things that I really wanted to get out there. So I'm going to take a gigantic, big old hit of this bowl and let the weed tell me what I'm going to talk about, I think. So I hope that you've got something in front of you that you can smoke, and I hope that it's smoking good and tasting great and that you are high as balls. Cheers, friends. Goodness gracious. Okay. Whew, I had to get a drink in there too, if you didn't hear. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. This isn't like a particularly trippy sativa. Like, I know trippy is kind of a weird word to use to describe a strain of weed. Weed being, not a psychedelic. But like, there are just some indicas that get you thinking about the weird stuff. Or I'm sorry, some sativas that get you thinking about the weird stuff and making your brain do strange thoughts. I don't think that Jack Herrera is really one of them. I feel much more of the effect than I'm like. How can I describe this? Wow, this is tough. Okay, so follow me here. Like, I can emotionally feel the effects of this sativa, but I'm not having a like cerebral effect of this sativa. Like, I'm feeling this in my mental state. I'm not feeling this in my mental processing. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Um, I can feel this sativa affecting my mental state, but I am not really feeling the sativa changing the way that I think or like influencing the thoughts of my brain. Not that if you're listening to this as someone who doesn't smoke weed a lot, um, I don't think that weed really changes the way that you think. Or I'm a firm believer that weed will never like change your core values or cause you to do something that you would not typically do at alcohol, which is pretty much, I think, the one of the biggest differences between drinking and smoking. Um, Drinking will make you do things that you might not do if you weren't drinking. Smoking a bunch of weed will probably not make you do anything that you wouldn't normally do, with the exception of like trying weird food or something like that. It's hard to describe. Holy smokes, it's hard to describe. But like, you're never gonna take all your clothes off at a party and make out with somebody you've never met because you're stoned. It's not gonna happen. Um, There. That's an example. Apply it how you feel. Drink enough tequila. I guarantee you'll do that. It'll happen. It's happened to the best of us. It really has. It'll get you. So this sativa, I can feel increasing my mood, making my mood better. And like I've got sort of the like brain shakes where like you close your eyes and like the world is moving quickly and you can feel it. But I'm not having the like deep lost in my own thoughts trying to connect synapses that don't typically connect kind of effect that some of the I think like racier sativas sort of get me on that. Like Durban Poison, always. I'm just like all over the place when I smoke Durban. But I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling encouraged to talk and like I want to let my brain work, but it's not working on anything more than its own volition. It's not going anywhere crazy. I think from this sativa specifically, this is Jack Herrera. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of the episode, but this is Jack Herrera, and that's just how I'm feeling about it currently. And I've smoked a lot of it today. This is bowl number 3, and they've all been relatively large bowls. So one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is how exhausted I am from living the same life. And I'm in the process of trying to change that in a sense. Like I am applying for new jobs and really looking hard at making a major move, like a many states away kind of move. Which hopefully, like if something comes through with that, then I will reveal many more details about that later, but is not something that I really want to state as possible reality until I have some sort of something to make me think that it might be a possible reality, because as of right now it's just sort of still in the pipe dream phase. But I'm in the process of breaking the cycle in which I feel stuck, and I think that that's a really rough place to be in. And that, I guess, is something that I want to talk about, because I think that that's not just something that I experience. I think that a lot of people hit a place where they feel stuck in a cycle. And being stuck in a cycle is really tough and not fun. And that is something that I think vacation is really important for. Is it's really, really, really important to break the cycle of your life. You've got to stop yourself from getting copacetic, complacent. Um, you know, I'm trying to comfortable gives it a really positive connotation, and so I don't want to use the word comfortable, but comfortable is kind of a good word for it. Like you fall too in line with the things you do all the time. Once you like just sort of land on a routine, and as someone who loves routines, don't get me wrong, I think they're great, but you fall so much into living the same life and doing the same things that it becomes exhaustive, and you lose interest in those things. I think that it's human nature to get bored. I think everybody gets burnt out on things all the time, 100%. It's just human nature. The more you do one thing, the more likely you are to burn out on it. So I think that vacation is really important for having time to break your cycle so that you're not constantly burnt out on the things that you have to do all the time. Because like there's a major life change like moving, and then there's just taking a week off and having a huge like breaking the cycle to shift into a new cycle, and then just hopping out of the loop for a little while so that you can jump back into it later. Like that's the vacation side of things, and I think that's really important for everybody to do. Just because you're having a bad go of it in whatever you're doing, whatever life you're living, doesn't necessarily mean that you need to change everything and move across the ocean and the whole nine. I'm just like exasperating. That's not the right word. Exaggerating. I'm just exaggerating here, but like move to a different country, start a new career, leave all of your people behind. You don't necessarily need to do that if you're bored with life. Maybe you just need to get away for a little while and hop off that train. And vacation last year, which was the first time that I'd taken a week off, and I think maybe forever. Like, that might have been my longest vacation since I started working. I really think that, yeah, like, I had never been gone for more than a week before, because that just wasn't something my family did. We were a hard, we would plan everything. We would crush an entire like we would go visit a place and crush everything there is to do there in like 5 days. Like, it was just the way that we did vacation, and I love it. I love doing things that way. But I'd never been away from life for more than a week before, and being away from life for more than a week made me realize when I came back that if being away for a week didn't diminish my boredom, it was actually time to make a life change. And so, maybe that's advice for somebody. Maybe if you're feeling really bored, if you're really thinking, I might need to change my life, I might need to do something different, just take a week off first and see how that makes you feel. Like, take a week, go away for a while, go do something. Even if it's not like crazy far away, even if you're just doing a staycation, just break your cycle completely. Like, if you're gonna stay at home, don't go to the same restaurants. Like, just don't do the same things. Get away, be different for a week, and change your life for a week, and see if that refreshes you on the life you have when you come back. Because there were some things for me that when I went on that vacation last year, I came back and I was like, wow, I enjoyed this so much more because I haven't done it for a week. And I'm super excited to be back doing it. And then there were other things that it was like, wow, this really has cemented my belief that I need to not be doing anymore for a while. Like, I really need to hit the point where I am doing something different, and this isn't the only thing that I'm doing, and yada, 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 yada. Like, that week off for me was so hugely important that when I came back, I realized I need more of a change. The jobs that I'm working, the situation that I'm living in, the things that I'm doing, the people that I'm around, like, they're not satisfying my life anymore. And the last one of those is really hard. Like, I realized on vacation, like, I love a lot of the people that I'm with. Like, a lot of my friends are the greatest people I think that I may ever know. But there are other people who I'm interacting with on a day-to-day basis who are just dragging me the F down. And that was another thing that, like, getting away for a while made me realize that you gotta leave and be gone and be out of your life cycle sometimes to realize how you really feel about your life cycle. And that's interesting and something that I think has merit for everybody. And I hope that everybody can get a chance to do it. And I don't know how long I've been rambling. I'm going to take another hit, though. So it's either been a long time since I've smoked weed, it's been no time at all since I've smoked weed, or it's been about 10 minutes since I've smoked weed, because that's typically what I aim for. So let me smoke some more weed now. Cheers. Have you ever been holding a pipe in a really awful way and hit it anyway, and then being like, oh no, I'm stuck holding it like this? That's what just happened to me. I just tried to, like, replicate how I was holding it so I could explain it. I really don't remember. Okay, it is getting boxy down here. To quote really hilarious and super cool band, They Might Be Giants. Man, it's so loud in here. It's yeah, I am in a hot box. This is a great, like, the Weed Tube has been doing this feature on the hot boxes lately, and if I did video, this would be a really great hot box. I'm in it. But yeah. Sorry, that was a weird little side tangent. It's the weed. what else can I say? Whew, I'm back, I think. I'm still talking about vacation, or trying to, and I'm really high. This is Sesh Cast. Welcome. Um, so I'm recording this episode in advance because I kind of feel like I need a small vacation from the podcast as well. Um, which is not to say that I'm not enjoying it, not to say that I'm burnt out. I just like the doing I do a couple of podcasts. This is not my only one, and being involved in all of them, as well as working two, if not three jobs, like you just run out of mental energy, especially because I have a couple of podcasts and being a radio DJ, and often being a coach for youth sports. Like, I spend a lot of my time talking. Sometimes you just run out of talk. You just run out of voice, as a broadcaster, and that's hard. And so being away from a week, or excuse me, being away for a week and being able to just sit with people and listen, and sit on the beach and listen, and perhaps read a book, which I don't do very often, but I'm considering trying to do more. But really specifically listen to music. Like, I have not had a chance to just listen to music, and I don't even know how long. And I've got a long drive ahead of me this weekend, and I'm looking forward. Well, okay, let me clarify. I've got a long drive ahead of me this weekend from when I'm recording this episode, as well as this weekend from when this episode will release, because I will be driving to and from the beach. So I've got a lot of time to just listen to music, and I'm so excited for that. A lot of albums have come out in the last couple months that I've missed because I've just been too busy to sit down and listen to music, and that's always a bummer. Anytime I don't have time to just enjoy music is really hard for me. So I'm looking forward to that very much, and I am looking forward to not needing to talk for a little while, and I'm recording this episode in advance so that I don't have to lug my microphone and my laptop and all this stuff with me to the beach and find a place to haul up and smoke. And I'm looking forward to taking some time to be quiet. And I think that that's something for me that is interesting, because that's me stepping away from my job. My career is with my voice, my career is to talk. And I think everybody, when they go on vacation, wants to get away from their career, wants to take a break from their job, wants to not be doing the things they do at work. And so at work, I talk all the time, and I'm very much looking forward to not talking for a little while. It's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice. And that's, weird for me to say, because I still love broadcasting, and I still love talking, and doing podcasts and all this stuff, but you just hit a point where you haven't necessarily said everything you've needed to say or you've wanted to say, but you've just said so many words in so many different orders that it's getting hard to put them in new orders, and to talk about other things. And that's something I've run into a lot, where I'm talking about the same thing so often because I'm at work, because I'm doing the same things. Like, I am talking about the same thing so often that I'm getting caught in mental loops of only thinking about those things and not letting my mind wander and explore other thought processes, thought process. It's definitely not that one. Gosh, I don't know. I'm not very good at grammar. I haven't let my mind wander. I haven't thought about anything else. I haven't. There's so many things that I've wanted to devote mental energy to that I just haven't been able to, because all of my mental energy is sucked up by these same 5 time loops, or these same 5 mental loops of the things that I talk about at work. Man, you want to talk to me about rock music? I can talk to you about rock music all day long. I work at a rock radio station. I can just forever and ever and ever and ever. I can talk about rock music, but hockey is one of my favorite things, and if you wanted to talk to me about the NHL right now, I would have nothing to say, except that Ray Emery passed away this week, and that is a goddamn shame, and rest in peace, man, because you're a legend. But I just like don't have the mental energy to devote to other things that I love, like video games too. I one of my best friends texted me the other day to ask if I had done any research about the new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that's coming out. And the answer to that question was no, and that sucks because I'm more excited for that game than I've been for any game this year. And if it wasn't for Super Mario Odyssey, it would be the most excited I've been for a game since Super Mario Maker like 3 years ago. I'm just really excited for Ultimate, and I have not gotten to sit down and look at anything for it or like read up about the new characters that are coming in or the logistics or anything like that. And so I'm looking forward to taking a week to not talk about the same things I talk about all the time, to not talk about work, to not talk about like even rock music for a little while, just to be away from those thought processes so that I can let my brain happily think of other things and not make those other things feel like a task. Because that's where I'm at. I feel like doing my hobbies is something I have to put on a to-do list, and I don't ever want it to be that way. I've been trying to use to-do lists a lot more because they've been helping me stay motivated. But at the same time, I hate to-do lists because I end up obsessing over putting every little thing on them. But I have really felt like lately I need to put my hobbies on my to-do list or they just won't get done. And then I'll be sad because I don't get to do any of the things I like to do. But it's hard to do those things. I don't have the mental energy or the time to do them. You just and so having a week to hopefully reset and give my brain some rest and some more energy to explore other things and think about other things, like that's going to be grand. I'm very much looking forward to that. Gosh, I'm so looking forward to that. And then hopefully I'll be able to come back from next week from when I'm recording, this week from when you're maybe listening to this if you got it when it came out, or like when I was at the beach if you're listening to this later. I'm very much looking forward to taking time away for a week and then hopefully coming back from a week and being more invested in my hobbies and being able to put more energy into this podcast and feel better about thinking about new conversation topics and hopefully be able to interview more people and bring more people on the show and just grow this podcast the way that I want to, but just don't have the mental energy for right now. And I'm really hoping that's what I can come back from this week for. But we'll see, man. And it's hard to tell. I'll update you next week in the next episode because this is episode 30. So in episode 31, I will give you a little bit of an update about how I'm feeling after coming back from vacation. We'll see how it is. Maybe it'll be vacation part 2. Maybe it'll be something else. Hopefully I will have forgotten about all of this by then and will just feel like I am starting afresh and starting anew, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And in honors of that, let's smoke some more weed. Cheers. So, in sort of conclusion, I suppose, I would encourage you to go on vacation. And that's weird for me to say, and let me clarify some things. Like I said, I just started going on vacation annually last year. Last year, I took the longest vacation of my life. Last year, I had started making more money than I have ever made in my life. Now, that money is still not very much. I do not have cash to throw around on vacations. If it wasn't for people in my life helping to pay for these experiences, I would by no means be able to make them happen. Specifically this beach vacation, like I could not afford this on my own. I could not afford this at all. Due partially to the fact that I've devoted my money and my savings to this Seattle trip. So what I'm trying to say here is that I am saying go on vacation, and I know that going on vacation is incredibly difficult and not something everybody is able to do, and it's just not a possibility for everybody in the same way. Like everybody everybody is only able to go on vacation in certain ways. Like what works, or I'm sorry, what's possible for me is not possible for a lot of people, and I understand that. Um, but still, please think that, like, remember that you don't have to go 5 states away to go on vacation. You don't have to fly across the country to go on vacation. You you don't have to, like, spend all of your money to go on vacation. You just need to take time away from your life cycle. That's what vacation really is. Vacation isn't a destination or a location or an experience, and maybe it is for some people, but the real core thing that vacation is just breaking your life cycle. And to quote the late great Chester Bennington, it's breaking the habit of life. Like, you just gotta get out of the circle that you're in constantly, or you'll run yourself into the ground, quite literally. And if you're walking in a circle, eventually you will trudge out a trench that you will fall into. It's real. uh, I think. But I'm sure that somebody, Mythbusters, has done like some sort of episode or something about how long it would take you to walk in a circle to actually cut a path in the ground. But hiking trails exist, so the theory is there. The concept is proven. I just don't know if it's ever been taken to scale. Um, you're gonna run yourself out. You're gonna burn yourself down. Like, it'll happen. And time away is good. It really is. Whether you're going somewhere, whether you're staying at home doing nothing, like, taking a breather from your life cycle is super clutch and super important, and will help you continue to enjoy the things that you're doing and continue to do those things to the best ability. Or maybe it will show you that you need to start doing something else. You need to change your life. Something needs to be different. Like, something something will come of taking time away from your life cycle and breaking your habit, whether it's with work, whether it's with your hobbies, no matter what it's with. Like, breaking your life cycle will be beneficial to you in some way. I promise. It just will be. Everybody needs that fresh reset every once in a while. The best spring break of my college career, I literally did not leave an area code. Like, we were not even an area code. Like, we didn't leave a zip code. We were just anchored in my buddy's apartment, hanging out for like the 5 days of spring break. All of my friends were gone in like Cancun or PCB, or like, gosh, I don't know, New Jersey. Like, all of my friends went somewhere on spring break that year, and me and my two other friends' plans kind of fell through, and so we spent an entire like 5 days hanging out together in my buddy's apartment, watching YouTube, playing video games, smoking just disgustingly horrendous amounts of hookah, and drinking cheap beer. And that was it. And the only time that we left that apartment was for provisions. And by provisions, I mean food. And even then, we did not go very far. Like, we refused to leave more than like a 5-minute driving circle away from the apartment. And it was the best spring break of my life. And we just took time to hang out and do nothing. And that can be vacation. Sometimes that's all you need, is just to do nothing for a little while. Not everybody thrives on a slam-packed vacation schedule. Some people just want to go and exist somewhere else. And some people just want to exist where they are and be able to enjoy it. And so do one of those things. Do whatever it is feels comfortable to you, but take time. Exist outside of the circle that you've trenched yourself into. It is worth it. I'm gonna hit this one last time before the last time. Cheers. There you have it, folks. There's the vacation episode of Sesh Cast. That was a quick hit because I'm basically out of weed. I'm kind of smoking ash and res at this point. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. I will be back with an episode released slightly closer to when it was recorded next week, because I will be back from the beach and I will give you some sort of updates on how all this went for me and what I've discovered from my pilgrimage to the beach this year. And I hope that you can find time. I hope so desperately that you can find time to take some time to yourself and break your own cycle. It's very, very much worth it. I promise. I am on all the podcast things. I think if you have a podcast listener that you prefer to use and you're not listening to me there, check and see if I'm on the one you prefer to use. And if I'm not, tell me and I will find a way to put myself there. Check me out. That'd be great. Check out my Instagram if you'll like. It's at Sesh Cast. I post pretty pictures of the glass that I use and sometimes other things that are topical to the thing. Topical to what I'm talking about. The topic. They're topical to the topic. That's it. Wow. Rough. Yeah. iTunes reviews. That's a thing I'm supposed to talk about. I need to put a note somewhere. Everybody tells me if I want more people to listen to my podcast, I gotta say to give me an iTunes review. But let me know what you think. I'm not here pandering for 5 stars. I don't care. I don't care if I'm the most popular podcast in the world. I just want to do a good podcast. So if you like this, let me know. And if you don't like this, tell me. And maybe I can reconsider my content to something that you might enjoy more. I just want to create good consumable content. Please let me know how I can do it. And if you choose, do it in an iTunes review because apparently that helps me the most. I don't know. That's just what they tell me. I'm going to hit this one more time. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have an awesome day. I hope everything is good for you. And I hope that there's bountiful amounts of weed in your future. Cheers, friends. My name is GLDLX. This has been Sesh Cast. Thank you so much for listening.